Hello, this is Jenny Fern, and today I'd like to talk to y'all about the first harvest of the year 2021, show some clips of my garden, so some peas, some fava beans, and coming up you'll see my broccoli is going to flower, so I should harvest some seeds from that soon. What you'll see me doing throughout this video is actually weighing my harvests that I've had so far this year. Almost all of the crops are leaves, but I have an intention for this year to actually keep track of the weights and quantities of the harvests that I take in. So here you can see some onion greens and some garlic greens, as our, onions and garlic are not quite ready yet. But I'll go through what we have from our first harvest from January 6th. 7 cauliflower leaves. These are very small as the plant is going to seed. 9 mustard greens, the green variety. 4 red mustard greens. 11 arugula greens. 36 fava bean leaves. This has been one of the bigger green producers in the garden this season. 2 large leaves of my perennial greens. These are perennial kales or perennial collards. One garlic green, and then 2 onion greens. Not exactly sure what you call those things, but that's kind of what this big pile of green is amounting to. And the total weight was 4.5 ounces. So that's it for the 6th, the very first harvest of the year. And I just wanted to share a really quick and easy sun-dried tomato recipe that I figured out, that I came up with because I have so many sun-dried tomatoes from the summer still stored, and I want to, be eating the food that I had grown from my garden. So a lot of squash and dried preserved foods. So you have your tomatoes soak in water overnight and then drain them off. You don't have to squeeze them or anything. Pour some olive oil in, put some salt in, and then put a raw clove of garlic in. It makes it incredibly garlicky. It's kind of surprising how garlicky it is, but it's delicious. It basically makes a kind of pesto, like spread that you can use on penne, or you could use just on toast. We used it on some bread and then had some sauteed greens on top, which was really, really delicious. So I recommend, if you have an excess of dried tomatoes, that you can do that with them. So on the 8th, the next harvest was 38 fava bean leaves. Again, I'm saying that's one of our biggest contributors. 22 arugula leaves. So arugula is really kicking it up. 3 small broccoli leaves. 6 small cauliflower leaves. 12 mustard greens. 1 perennial green leaf. 3 onion greens. And 2 red mustard leaves. And 15 dandelion greens. So I picked some dandelions because they grow in my yard, so why not? And then I love whenever Matt has a bunch of bananas, because then I get some really good compost. Speaking of compost, I have some goodies growing in my compost that I'll show at the very end. Some things are sprouting, although it's way too early in the season. It's like sunflowers and stuff. That plant was a garbanzo bean, and I have no idea why it's still alive. I did not think it would survive this late into winter. Okay, so we're on to the next harvest, which is the 11th. Actually, on the 11th, I harvested my very first fava bean, which was 0.1 ounce. So now we're on to the 13th, which is 1 garlic green, 2 onion greens, 22 fava bean leaves. Actually, I think it's 32 fava bean leaves. 4 mini heads of broccoli, 7 small Swiss chard leaves, 2 fava beans, and 27 arugula leaves, 11 green mustard leaves, 4 cauliflower greens, 4 cabbage leaves, 3 stalks, very small, terrible skinny stalks of celery, and 13 of the little heads or little buds of sweet alyssum. And then, this can all be thrown together and cooked up, or it can be made into like a fresh salad. So here you can see some of my perennial greens, which I've yet to harvest from. And here is my big giant patch of arugula. And now we're on to the 15th and 16th. This is a bunch of mint. And I did see I put 1 blade of grass in there. So I tore up a bunch of mint from our main garden bed. So the mint was 2.5 ounces. And then for the rest of the greens, we have 3.4 ounces of arugula. There were 28 little leaves of arugula, 16 mustard greens, and 10 cauliflower greens. So I think this was just, I was out in the garden just before sunset gathering a couple things. So here you can see my artichokes. This is my side garden. Unfortunately, the side garden has been very torn up by some fencing happening. So we will have ample opportunity to revive the side garden. Unfortunately, my fava beans are quite trampled. I'm definitely upset, but I'm not. I'm trying to bring some positivity into this video and make myself happy. So I did some pruning on the grapevines. They're huge and daunting, but I tried my best. So then the 17th, which was yesterday, I had a total weight of 2.8 ounces, which was 1 weird split radish that was very deceptive. I thought it was going to be huge, and then it was just split. So I don't know. I don't know about that. 30 fava bean leaves, 3 small green lettuce leaves. The lettuce is so cute. 1 small curly kale, 6 red mustard leaves, 1 green onion leaf, 10 small cauliflower leaves, and 20 arugula leaves. And here you can see some of the things growing in my compost. And then this is also a trampled mess right now, but this was some mushrooms growing up in a flower bed. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this, and thank you as always for watching. Goodbye.